up, Ron? What's up, Martin? Ron. What's up, Bial? Hey, Michelle. Richard Hardy in there with his Christian name. Paul. Hooligan. What's up, everybody?
It's old school night tonight.
It sure is.
Y'all know this sound?
Sounds like victory.
Ah, it's good.
What's up, John Rodriguez, with a $5 donation in there at the gate? He's talking about Max Crosby. We're going to get to it, brother. He says if it's true that Max wants out, then trade him. No player's bigger than the Shield, not even Max, man.
See ya. Which is a huge surprise because he was Mr. Raider forever.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we're going to get into that and much, much more tonight here in the Fan Cave. Appreciate all of you joining us for this episode number 403 of Raiders Fan Radio.
Check, check.
What's up, guys? It's Richie Incognito, Las Vegas Raiders. I'm here at Raiders Fan Radio. Let's go, Raiders. Woo!
Hey, it's Mike Garafolo, NFL Network here in the home office, and you are listening to the Raiders Fan Radio podcast, taking that lighter journey into the dark side with Murf, Swag Jeff, and Michelle. She's got great hair. It's a little pink, it's a little purple, whatever it is. I'll tell you what, if I could grow it, I would sign up for that color today. So listen to her and the entire crew as they give you all the information on the Raiders on the podcast that benefits the One Nation Foundation. It's a great cause. It's a great pod. Tune in, turn it up. Here it comes. All that Raiders info and takes coming at you right now.
Jackpot, baby. Raiders Fan Radio.
Oakland, L.A., Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murph's Man Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Paletnikov, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players. You have a great organization, and you tell them one thing: just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play.
Well, I love this team. I think this team can win. I think this team can win.
You are listening live to Raiders Fan Radio. Take it away, guys.
Why, thank you, Brett. Helps if you unmute your microphone. Why, thank you, Brett Musburger. What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for what we trust will be a fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 403 of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you from the palatial Murph's Fan Cave Studios here in the amongst the frozen tundra still. It's things are melted, but it's still cold as crap down here. But out of the gate, man, I just want to thank all the super chats in there. We already had one from our good friend John Rodriguez, and then Hooligan Nation in there drops a $20 bomb. Thank you very much, Hooligan, for that. We appreciate you. As you know, 100% of that money goes to the One Nation Foundation, our nonprofit supporting Raiders-related charities. And he does that in honor of my co-host tonight, the Godfather, a.k.a. Santa Mosh, who we're going to introduce here in just a sec. But before we do that, I want to thank you guys for joining us live. You could join us live in the chat room each and every Wednesday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here for Raiders Fan Radio on youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. And did I say you could jump in there with the chat room yet? I don't know if I said that or not. But if I didn't say that,
you mentioned it.
I did. Well, let me mention it again because it's worth mentioning twice because Michelle's in there, Martin's in there. What's up, Michelle? Michelle and Jeff got the night off tonight. Let's see, Martin, Michelle, Paul is in there. I mentioned Hooligan is in there.
Paul.
Mr. Wrong is in there. John B. Raider is in there. Let's see, Justin Marmon, our new boss. is in there. What's up, Justin?
Nice.
Let's see. So many of our good friends are in there. We appreciate you so very much for checking out Raiders Fan Radio Live. And as I mentioned, you can do that at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio, or you can catch us on the audio podcast. And you can find the audio podcast of this show on any of your favorite podcast services. All you got to do is search for Raiders Fan Radio. And we are brought to you by the good folks at the Believe Network who support our show. And we are presented by the good folks at FanDuel. Shout out FanDuel. We're going to get to some FanDuel odds and some of the Super Bowl bets that are going on out there. Mosh, we'll get your thought on that. But appreciate you all, Raider Nation, for supporting the show the way that you do. And even if you can't support the show monetarily, all we ask is for a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up, anything like that helps Raiders Fan Radio and our advertising efforts and what we're doing with the One Nation Foundation. So thank you guys so very, very much. All right, so maybe four without.
No,
Man, I'm telling you, I'll spit them out. I actually have that soundbite right. Well, I'm not gonna play it yet because I actually have a soundbite on the board of you doing that exact same thing.
It's my go-to
It's
jam.
your go-to, yeah, absolutely. But anyways, so without further ado, let me welcome in the second man in the fan cave tonight. He's my uncle and yours. He's the man that adorns the Swag Jeff corner over there for tonight's episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Give it up for the one and only Uncle Mosh.
I know him.
Ah, that was good. You told me not to do anything to wait. I waited.
Yeah, you waited.
Yeah, no, that was good. I waited well.
You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Santa here? I know him.
What's up, Mosh?
Man, it's so good. So listen, all you guys that are giving me some love on the chat, you know that the fat fingers don't work when I got to hold paper and a pencil and then try to scroll and type. No, it ain't happening. So thank you. It's good to get to hear from everybody. Salute. Appreciate y'all. Love being back. We talked about it last time I was on. I said I'm going to be making some more appearances.
Heck yeah, man.
And so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, you know. And it's good. It's good to be here. I wish Swaggy and Michelle were here, but they're not. So screw them.
Well, it's Jeff's daughter, Charlie. It's her birthday.
Yeah, I called him. We talked about that. It's he and I talked about that, and we're like, dude, we're getting so old. You know, it's his daughter's birthday, and he said, man, he's got a big anniversary coming up, just something that he's done, and I'm like, man, we've known each other for almost 25 years, and he's just a kid. I still think of him as 17. You know?
Yeah.
But it's not. He's an old fart now, man. He's an old fart. But anyway, it's great.
Well, good deal. Glad to have you back here, Uncle Mosh, as always, here in the fan cave. And so, yeah, you will see Jeff and Michelle this Sunday, though. We are going to do our annual Super Bowl show. And we don't have to call it a protest show this year because the Chiefs aren't in it. The Niners aren't in it. Nobody else in our division is in it. So we don't have to root against anybody in the Super Bowl. And in fact,
it'd be just watch a good game.
Well, and now I'm rooting for the Seattle Seahawks because their current offensive coordinator is, by all intents and purposes, committed to being our next head coach. And so I'm going to root for the Seahawks, man. I'm gonna do it. Although I love Vrabes, man. I love Vrabel.
Seriously.
I love Vrabel.
I loved him when he was here.
When he was here. So here at Raiders Fan Radio at the top of the show, we always take our episode number and tie it back to something significant within Raider Nation. And Mosh, do you want to tell them about what we have tonight?
Ron, the Mater Raider, goes, Uncle Mosh just found out this podcast is a talkie. Thanks, Ron.
What? Why, are you muted? No.
No, he's just picking on me, just to pick on me. And if he, oh, no, wait.
Oh, he says he can't hear. Can you hear Mosh at all, or is it just me?
Check.
Wait a minute. Maybe it's in this other shot right here. Okay, I know what it is. It's because when I try to do the 2-shot, it mutes us both. So it's just going to be switching back and forth cameras tonight between you and me. So okay,
good.
You're good. All right.
So have I been muted the whole time?
No, just when it was on the 2-shot. You're fine. Go ahead.
The damn 2-shot. All right. Anyway, so there you have it. I don't know what I was talking about, but it doesn't matter. We'll come around.
Well,
to it.
It's episode number 403.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
gonna tie back something significant within Raider Nation. And so, Uncle Mosh, what do you got over there? You got it in your notes? You want to read it?
I do. On December 11th, 1972, during a Monday Night Football game at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, John Madden's Oakland Raiders defeated the New York Jets 24-16, despite Joe Namath completing 25 of 46 passes for exactly, are you ready? 403 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Yes.
And you know why I picked that one? So the Raiders win that game handily. Namath throws for 403, and he being John Madden had so much respect for Namath and the absolute shit kicking he just got from the Raiders defense. Madden went over to the locker room and sought out Namath and shook his hand and told him what a gutsy performance he had, because the Raider defense that day just literally beat the ever-loving crap out of Joe Namath. And so out of respect, that's the kind of coach Madden was, man.
So if you remember right, back on Monday Night Football, originally Howard Cosell was Cosell was one of the voices. And I remember Cosell saying that he was talking about him throwing for 403. And Cosell used that a lot because it used to be thought of nobody can throw for over 400 yards and win a game. And he said, the closest anyone ever came was Broadway Joe Willie Knight. You know? And some of my old guys in here will remember Cosell. It was unheard of to throw for over 403 yards and win a game.
Wow.
Or 400 yards and win a game for the longest time. It's kind of like the 4-minute mile, you know?
Well, I'm going to toss you a softball here. You know who the quarterback was on the other side for the Raiders that night?
This is probably 72. It had to be my guy.
Daryl.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
LaMonica. Yeah.
Now's when we need a picture, that picture of me and Daryl talking.
I know, right? I got to get that thing loaded up. We'll put that in there. Yeah.
But
anyways,
it's in the intro. Is it? I don't know.
I don't know. But it's out there. I put it on social media all the time. But yeah. But anyways, good stuff there for episode number 403. And wow, shout out Kevin, the Raider nerd, with a $20 donation in there. Says, we're very excited for our Raiders' future. Let's go Mendoza, rooting for the Seahawks and our future coach. Go RFR and go Raider Nation. Appreciate you, Kevin. That is awesome, man. Appreciate you very much, brother. Appreciate Yoshi that's in there. Fabricator Gil. Oh my gosh, that's your number one fan, Mosh.
He loves me.
You and Fabricator Gil
me and
are
Fabricator Gil. Yeah,
you guys are tight.
And he and Mojo go back on first, back and forth on who's. Go ahead.
You go. No, you go. No, they hear me all the time.
Anyway.
They get sick of hearing me, but yeah, but I love it.
I do.
I love it that Fabricator Gil's in there because, and then also, too, speaking of your other favorite, Mojo is called the show tonight.
Oh,
so we're
right
going to hear
on.
from Mojo later. Yeah, so anyways, but without further ado, before we get to that, let's go ahead and hit some contact information, and then we're going to get into a little bit of respect.
Woo! Hey, Raider Nation! Woo. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an updated contact info. So sit up, zip up, shut up, and pay attention. You can call us at 909-345-3346, or as Murf would say it, 909-345-3346. How about emailing me? You want to email me? Email me at show@RaidersFanRadio.com. Or what about reaching out to us on some of that social media stuff Swaggy likes? Try Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast, the Twit at Twitter at Raiders Fan Radio, Insta something, Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio, the
Tiki-Tiki-Taki-Talk.
TikTok at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about the Twitch? Some of you out there twitching. Anyway, Twitch at Raiders Fan Radio. Or if you don't like that, go to the YouTube. America, go to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Raiders Fan Radio. Oh my God, if that wasn't enough, go to your podcast provider and search Raiders Fan Radio. Holy crap, that was a lot.
Good.
I was trying to get right on your D just to mess it up.
I figured it once, and I'm sitting over thinking, I'm like,
I'm not going to make eye contact.
Well, and I'm like, and he's the one that originated that. In fact, I had somebody ask me one time, tell him about that, because do you remember the origin story of this, about why we all say good at the end of that contact info?
I don't remember. I've done so many of them.
Because the very first one we did,
yes.
You're like, is that it? And then I was shaking my head, yes, and you're like,
go,
good.
Yeah.
So, but then when we redid it, the good didn't make it in there.
Yeah, and I added it.
And so then, so now we all added back in there.
Yeah.
That's when it's missing. So there you go. Anyway, so there's the origin story of the good, if you're wondering about the sound bites around here for Raiders Fan Radio. All right, so speaking of sound bites, we don't do props around here. We don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian, so we like to give a little bit of respect. If I can find the damn button. There it is.
Murf, Swaggy J, Nation. It's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Hey, what up, Uncle Mosh? I'm participating in this. I don't like this. All right. Well, then I'll participate in it while you don't.
I hate it.
Why do you hate it?
Wait, did it go away?
For you, not for me. You said you didn't want to participate. Oh, jeez. I remember when you used to talk like that.
That was. Oh yeah. Here, let me do an imitation of your buddy Murf, circa 1973. Six? No, I was born in 73.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about.
Oh, okay. All right. So we'll go 75.
Okay, you go 75.
Let's go 75. So here we go. So Uncle Mark, picture Uncle Mosh, the lovely Uncle Mosh over there. Okay, so he's making out on the couch with his girlfriend Monica Murillo when he's in high school.
Oh, we don't say last names.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. Would you ever know what happened? Is she still around?
I think she died.
Oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then, all right. Well, shout out.
Anyway,
Monica M.
Oh, jeez.
All right. So Uncle Mosh is making out on the couch with moving
right along with the story.
Monica M. And little Murf is on the toilet going, Uncle Mark, come wipe me.
Okay, the real
part of that story.
I wanted to do that with my voice.
Oh, my
Uncle Mark, come wipe me. Okay, there we go.
So what really happened, you were close. You were really close.
Oh, this show is descended early.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Do you remember when you threw up on her?
No, I don't remember any of that stuff. I was a little kid.
Oh, my God. 1977. Okay. It's my senior year in high school. Your dad's got that new Mustang. It was a white Mustang with red stripes. I can't remember what brand it was. It was his first.
It was a Cobra.
It was a first brand new car he bought. We're going to go cruise up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, right? Me and Monica are in the back seat, and you go, I want to sit in the back seat. Your mom was going to have you sit. This is back when car seats weren't mandatory and stuff like that. She was going to have you sit in the front with her because Monica and I were in the back, right? And we're cozy. And you go, I want to sit in the back with Uncle Mosh. Okay. So she lets you out. She gets out. She opens the door. She pulls the seat up. Okay. And you climb in there, and I'm expecting you to be, I'm going to ride in the middle, right? I'm expecting you to be on it. And you go, no, I want to sit between you and Monica. I could have killed you. So we're driving, and your dad is just killing it, man. He's taking these corners, right? He got off of Interstate 17, going over the hill, right, to Santa Cruz, and he's up in the Loma Prieta Hills, and he's going back and forth, and all of a sudden, Uncle Mosh, what, Josh? What do you want? I have to, and you puked all over Monica. It was awesome. You puked all over her. We pull over and we're cleaning it and throwing stuff over the edge of the road and everything. And your dad's going, "Don't get any on my car," you know? And I look at Monica and I go, "Are we still going to prom?" Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh. All right. So let's get back to the respect segment here at Raiders Fan Radio. Oh,
respect for people that can drive and not get car sick.
Oh my gosh. You can tell it's in between Super Bowl week. All right. So I want to give respect to our buddy Fernando Mendoza, soon to be the next quarterback here for your Las Vegas Raiders. And he went on a show. If you guys aren't familiar with the show, Sunday Conversation, it's Caleb Presley, who's an old a Barstool. No, he's not old, but he was a Barstool guy. He got his start at Barstool Sports.
Right.
And now he does his show, Sunday Conversation. And if you've never seen Sunday Conversation, it's hilarious. He's got this guy with him. His name is Glenny Balls, and he usually dresses up in like these wild ass costumes, and he's always eating something. And they're basically and Glenny Balls is just sitting there laughing. And Caleb Presley is like busting people's chops about a lot of stuff, and he's got a very irreverent sense of humor, and it's a great show. And the show itself is like 7 minutes long. And so anyway, so he's got Fernando Mendoza on there, and this was so funny. So I want to give respect to Mendoza for having the guts to go on a show like that, where you know that the host is going to mess with you and to play around. And Mendoza traded paint with this guy, and I think this is hilarious. So I've got a quick audio bite for you from the show, and if you haven't seen it yet, go find it. It's spelled Sundae, like a Sunday, like an ice cream sundae. Sunday Conversation, and find it with Mendoza.
What does this sentence mean to you? Kilroy's Sports Bar and Grill.
Means Saturday nights after games with the boys.
What do you say to people who say, "I saw Fernando Mendoza leaving Kilroy's with a goal line jumbo package"?
If we score, then that's all that matters. I mean, against Miami, we score in goal line jumbo package.
I agree.
Sometimes you just got to score.
How do you deal with tight ends if they become too attached?
I mean, I love myself 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. Too attached.
Is it safe to say you prefer heavy personnel?
Yeah. I mean, because usually then you get play action, and it's nice.
Do you like fat chicks because they remind you of your O-line?
Oh, I thought you were talking about football.
Oh my gosh, it's so damn funny. Y'all gotta go watch the whole thing, man. It's great. And good for Fernando Mendoza, man. He's been a media darling here lately since they won the national championship.
And he's a good sport. He's a good sport,
man. Absolutely. Yeah. So good stuff there. So check that out. All right. I've got one more little fun thing here for you. I've got an on this date for you, Mosh. Do you know what happened on this date, which is now February 4th, in 1969? 69.
Let me see. No.
Okay. Your favorite coach and mine, John Madden, was named the head coach of the Oakland Raiders.
Was it today?
It was today. It was February 4th. And of course, Madden went on to have an illustrious career as a head coach of the Raiders. Coached 10 years, never won less than 10 games, I believe. I believe he's the only coach to win 100 games in 10 years, even still to this day, I think, I take that back. I don't know if it still holds true, but it did for a long, long time, because back then they only played 14 games.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now we're up to 17. And so, so I still think he's got the highest winning percentage of any kid. I don't know if chat room will know. They know more than I do. But if he's not number one, he's way up there in terms of like all-time winning percentage. But anyways, he goes on this amazing coaching run, and a lot of it culminates in 1976 when he gets carried off the field by Monty Johnson and John Matuzak, that exact picture that I have hanging up over there. And I wish I could flip the camera around, but I have a canvas print over there of John Madden being carried off the field by these two guys. And this is something I'd never seen before, but the NFL released this in celebration of John Madden the other day. This is the actual audio of Monty Johnson and John Matuzak telling him that they're going to carry him off.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, this is really cool. So so check this out. I hope it translates as well, just being audio only, but listen to this. This is cool.
Man, I tell you, they counted us out of this thing, and boy, I tell you, we worked hard. Remember what I told you the other day about that AFC Coach of the Year? You deserved it. You certainly do, John.
A lot of, you deserved a lot of things, a lot of guys.
We can't worry about that. I mean, you deserve
so
a lot.
this is a team thing.
Coach, you can't run any place. We got you. We got you. You ain't going any place.
Woo, get the train, get the crane.
John's not getting away.
Get the crane.
Isn't that cool?
That is so cool. You know, I love Madden. I love Madden because he was the Raiders coach, right? But I love Madden because was a triple threat. He had 3 great careers. You know, he had the head coach of the Raiders, and then of course, his broadcasting career, and then the next generation, they know him for the Madden game. And it's so funny that I remember when I started my teaching career a long time ago, 30 plus years ago, and I was saying something about the Beatles, and I was talking about, and I'm going to equate this to Madden. I was talking about Paul McCartney, and they said, "Oh yeah, the Beatles. Yeah, that was the band he was with before Wings, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I should use just left." But it's so many people know Madden as the game guy.
Yeah.
The game guy. Madden, this and Madden that, and then no, he was a broadcaster. No, before that, Jack Wagon, he was
the Raiders head coach.
The Raiders head coach. Best coach we ever had.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? And it's unfortunate that the further we get away from that, probably the more likelihood is that he becomes known for the game, and that's it. Because people like you and I are going to move on to a higher plane, and God willing,
not for a while.
Not for a while, but anyways, the people aren't going to be around to remember him in his coaching career or his broadcasting career. But the Madden video game will still be going on. EA ain't giving up that cash cow. They're going to freaking make those things until their arms fall off. And so there's going to get to a point where it's like, I'm not trying to be morbid over here, but that just shows I think that there are some things that some people do in life, in art or in sports or in otherwise, that truly become, for lack of a better term, immortal. That they're just going to go on so far past that, you know what I'm saying? As long as the NFL exists, Madden will exist.
There was so much that Madden did as a coach that people don't talk about. His response after Darryl Stingley got hurt. The fact that Madden used to take trains.
Sure.
That's where my mom and her husband met. Madden was on a train.
I love it when Grandma would talk about how big his Super Bowl ring was.
Yeah, she said it was
because
massive.
He was like, did she ask him or did he offer for her?
No, when he was wearing it on his right hand, and when he shook hands with John, her husband, they were on their way to get married, and his hand was just massive. And so my mom, of course, as irreverent as she was, let me see that. Is that real? Kind of a thin, short, little fat Italian woman, And she's like, let me see that, and I'm surprised she didn't want to take it off and scratch glass with it, But she said, and I think he took it off.
He took it off, and that's what he said, yeah.
And she had big, fat Italian hands, so, and she said it went right on her thumb, it was just huge. It was like a size 16 or 18 or whatever it was. But she said he was the nicest guy, and she goes, well, they were going to the same place. I don't remember where it was, and it was the California Zephyr, I think is the name of the train, and it went from the Bay Area to Denver. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And they were going out there to get married, and they're like, well, why don't you just come with us and be our best man? And he's like, I got a game in 2 days, But
he's probably calling a Bronco game.
Yeah, but people don't realize that he didn't fly. So
sure,
he trained, or he had the Madden
had the bus
and all that kind of stuff, and it was coaches this day and age couldn't do that, because he would miss travel time away from the team. I mean, the guy was just the stuff that he did, the innovations and the things that he did was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was the first person in that picture over there shows it. I think he was the first head coach on the sidelines not in a tie.
Oh, that sounds
I
very
think
correct.
That was
yeah.
not without a sport coat and a tie.
Because he wore like a polo. He wore like a dark blue polo and like gray pants. Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah. He didn't start ties until he was up in the booth.
Yeah.
So there's lots and lots and lots of Madden lore, and I just for me it's one of those things I just hope never dies. Madden was just crazy.
I would hope not. Absolutely. Well, and as long as I think that if there's anything that gives me some hope around that is that Raider fans are really good about passing on tradition. And we're really good about understanding what our past is. You know what I mean? And what it was. I think that and the Raiders themselves do that. I mean, Allegiant Stadium is a love letter to the Raiders, to all versions of the Raiders. I mean, you just walk around that place and there's endless amounts of portraits and Hall of Fame tributes and you know what I mean? Just like all those things. And it was funny. The Super Bowl trophies are there. Like I had somebody one time, it was so funny. Somebody on the Twitter, of course, because that's what Twitter does sometimes. They were like, well, the Raiders don't have a proper display of their Hall of Fame players. And I'm like, they literally have a hallway in Allegiant Stadium with 8-foot plaques for every single member of the Hall of Fame that wore the silver and black, including Al Davis and John Madden. Like, F off with that whole idea
Seriously.
of the Raiders. If there's any team that you can't criticize for honoring and preserving the past, it's not the Raiders. Like, the Raiders are wonderful at
They
that.
got a hallway for their cheerleaders.
Yes,
They got everybody that's ever been involved. And, we get a lot of grief for that, especially my era, us boomers that are still left. We get a lot of grief for that because it's, oh, you're living in the past. You Raider fans are living in the past. No, you're missing the point. It's keeping alive our legacy and what we hope, because if you forget your history, you're bound to repeat it, and the bad with the good, and we want to keep that alive. We don't necessarily want to live it again or dwell in it, because there's the good and the bad, but we're passionate about what we did and how we got here. We were at one point in time, we were the winningest franchise in all of professional sports. There's no reason, and we started as a fledgling team from the AFL. There's no reason why we couldn't do it again. So
let me ask you something real quick, and then we got to get to the new stuff. We're going to talk about the Raiders that are. The current version of the Raiders and where we're going. But before we get to that, since we got you here, Mosh, and you do have such a deep connection to the past of the Raiders, something that Jeff and Michelle and I have talked a lot about is there a way to where, listen, a lot of our fandoms, whether you're 25 or you're 55, doesn't matter. Your fandom is built on the Raider mystique, right? A lot of our fandom is built on that. And it was forged in the late 60s and the early 70s, and then in the early 80s, and then redefined later on in the early 2000s under John Gruden. And so there have been different incarnations of that. And a lot of folks say that, like, well, yeah, you can't play Raider football the 70s anymore. You can't be Phil Villapiano, forearming people, and, Ben Davidson ripping people's helmets off and diving into their back, and like all those things can't. In your mind, is there a way for the intensity, the ruggedness, the grittiness, the villain, any of that, can that exist in a way because listen, I love 2026 NFL. There are things about it I don't love, but it's still the NFL, and it's still my favorite sport, and it's still, for many of us, our favorite. Can the Raiders exist in some fashion of that? Or does it just come down to, look, man, just win. Just do what Al said. Just win, baby, and then it doesn't matter what it looks like.
Last time I was on here, I caught a lot of grief. And that wasn't why I stayed away, because I don't care. But I coined a phrase early on in this production as we take a lighter side journey into the dark side.
Yes, sir.
And I I was on here and I said, oh no, I know what it was. It was I sent in my rant. And I got so much shit about my rant because I said, oh, it's all right. The Raiders, it doesn't matter whether, I was talking about rooting for the Chiefs and how I wasn't going to do it. And I said, it doesn't matter if we get number 1 pick or number 2 pick. We're just going to screw it up and, draft a kicker or something. You know what I'm saying? I was making a joke and oh my gosh, there were so many people like, oh, kind of a defeatist attitude, Uncle Mosh, blah, blah, blah. Lighten up, boys and girls. Lighten up. Raider football, the whole idea behind our show and I'm going to tie this in, I promise. The whole idea behind our show and what we do here is we have a good time. We have fun. We enjoy it. Win, lose, or draw. We're still on the air after the 25 season. Oh, my God. Right? We're still talking Raiders after the worst season ever. So can we get that back? Can we get that mystique back? I thought we were going to have it a little bit with Carr. I thought we were going to have it a little bit with Gruden, and then we got derailed. That fun, that get him out there, that smash him. And that's why we love Max Crosby, because he's all tatted up and he's a Raiders through and through, and that's why our new quarterback, our new QB, is going to bring that back. So to answer your question, is there a way to bring that back? Can we go to have that lore that we had all those years ago? Yes, it's going to be a different incantation of that. We're not going to be that. It's not going to be the smash mouth, like you said, knocking helmets off. There might be a little bit of that. There's going to be some of that stuff, but it's got to be these guys are having a blast, man. They're doing what they love. They're going out there. They're playing ball. The new head coach for the Titans said our brand of football is going to be fast and violent. And I love that he said that. I hope whoever our new coach is, because I'm not buying into that guy that has orange in his closet, but that can still happen. That mentality is still out there in 2026 NFL football, fast and violent, to steal from the Titans head coach. We can be there. We can have just win, baby, but we can have a good time doing it. You talk to those. There's an outstanding video I just watched the other day with Howie Long talking about the crazy Raiders that he played with in L.A. And he was just going down the line. This guy did this, and this guy did this, and this guy did this, and you didn't talk to this guy, and blah blah blah. And it was so much fun. That was a whole different crew than what we had in when Stabler was there. It was a whole different crew when Villapiano was there and Blitnikoff was there, but they still had it. So we can get that back. Why not? There's other teams that can do it. Why can't it be us?
Absolutely.
But we just, we can take it serious, but we don't have to go over the top with it. That's not my rant.
All right. No, but I appreciate it. It's a good. To
answer your question, yeah, it's attainable. It's going to be a different version of it.
Well, you're not going to have Lyle Alzado ripping people's helmets off and then throwing them back at them, and then the NFL has to make a new rule to prevent against that happening again.
But,
you know what I mean?
But there could be other rules.
And then if asked if Alzado would want that one back, he said, "I would make him eat that helmet if I could."
Right.
Which led to this soundbite, which was.
Okay.
That's one of my favorites. We got to pull that up there with Alzado saying he wanted to make that guy. Oh, I said I want to make him swallow his helmet.
Make him swallow his helmet. Yeah.
Anyways,
he had orange in his closet too.
Yeah, that's true. All right, but anyways, all right. I know.
I'm hoping you convince me. I got
Uncle Contrarian.
I got the smell. I got the smelling salts right here. I'm ready.
Hit it again. You weren't on camera for that one. Do it again. All right, and then hit a break.
Oh.
This is Kevin, the Raider Nerd, live at the Oakland Raiders tailgate. Raiders! We got Gorilla. Say got Uncle Mosh and Murf.
I love you guys. Much love from the black hole, baby. Just win.
All right, let's kick off this new coaching discussion. So there's, obviously there's all the reports started coming out that Clint Kubiak of the Seattle Seahawks, the offensive coordinator, is going to be your Las Vegas Raiders' next head coach. And easy, Mosh, take it easy.
Give me the salts.
He's going to be the next head coach. And pretty much all of us were rejoicing in that idea, but then also too, had to pump the brakes a little bit because it's not official yet. And we've had the carpet pulled out from under us enough times as the Raiders and Raider fans to know that unless it's a done deal, it may not be a done deal. Then we had John Schneider, the GM of the Seattle Seahawks, on Radio Row doing an interview with NFL Network this week, and he was complimenting Mike Macdonald and his ability to hire up a new staff. And he said, in one of the guys that he's hired, he's like, we got Clint, and he's like, and we would love to have him, but unfortunately, he's going to go be the Raiders' next head coach. And so it's like, you got the GM of the Seahawks telling you that's so. It's not officially official, but it's official. Like,
it's official.
He's going to be the next coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
It's called a tease in the biz.
Absolutely, there is. And so we've got a couple of sound bites here. First off, we've got, this is the second time I've featured this guy lately, and I don't like to feature him. But when you're right and you make a good point, you're right and you make a good point. So let's check in with Colin Cowherd and what he had to say about Kubiak.
Give me of all these coaching hires that we're going to look up in 4 years and go, wow, that worked out better than I thought. And mine is Clint Kubiak. This league is about GM, owner, quarterback, offensive weapons. Kubiak, Brock Bowers, Fernando Mendoza, Spytek, Ashton Genty.
Here's the other thing they have. They can dangle Max Crosby and get a ton and really start over. You get Kubiak and Spytek going, hey, Tom, let's look this from a macro, big picture view and think about 2028. And that they have a very powerful asset in Crosby. I think they could get a haul for him and truly just restart this organization moving forward.
All right, so there's a lot right there, and we're going to unpack the Max Crosby thing in a minute because we're going to get to the Jay Glazer clip that came out too. But I do like Cowherd's point there that when you start adding all these things together and you start adding into what's going to be available for the Raiders, there is the potential with an incredibly innovative offensive guy like Kubiak, and we'll get into the broader discussion of it later. But so to start off with, though, the X's and O's of it, we've seen what Clint Kubiak has done. Even if you just look at the last game and that last touchdown play that went to Jackson Smith and Jigba, the innovation of that play by putting him as a wide receiver in the backfield, exploiting the matchups with the linebackers. It was like when you listen to the guys like the Bussin guys talk about that play, they're like, this is, unless you've seen this on film, it's an impossible play to defend against. So we're getting this incredibly advanced offensive mind, hopefully paired with a first overall quarterback drafted in this year's draft, set up with Brock Bowers, set up with Ashton Genty. They'll probably do even more to get him some more targets. I think that I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Raiders are going to win more than 5 games. My expectations of this team, I'm over that game. I'm not doing that anymore. The whole offseason, buy-in, rah-rah, I'm not doing that anymore.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm very encouraged, but I'm very wait and see. It's like, don't tell us anymore, just show us. That's kind of where I'm at. But this idea, I can see this as the formula for that. If we can get, and this is a lot of ifs still too, man. We still haven't even drafted Fernando Mendoza. We still haven't even hired Clint Kubiak as the coach. But should those two things happen and they find a way to protect Fernando Mendoza, I think that there's this offense could be something really cool. I don't know how many game wins that's going to translate to out of year one, but that could be the building blocks for something really special going forward. And there's so many things. We'll get into more about Kubiak later, but just the offensive fit, Mosh, and that's where I want to keep the conversation at for this first part. The fit with what's already in silver and black and joining him up with Fernando Mendoza and having this incredibly innovative guy get to work with this offense.
So first, let me say that I really wasn't kidding as much when I said I'm disappointed that you're not setting yourself up for heartbreak again, because that's what we do.
I know this.
That's what we do.
This one broke me, man.
Because I would say to you, Murph, okay, you got the number 1 pick, and you got a kid that is just amazing. The number 1 pick. You've got a handful of superstars on your team. You got the shot at an outstanding head coach. What more? What else?
Nothing.
What else?
Nothing.
Well, then shut up and get on the rah-rah wagon. Because seriously, because you were more excited last year. Oh my God, Pete Carroll.
Geez,
You know, I don't need to remind you. Okay? This is
But I was like that for Josh McDaniels.
You're like that
I was like that for Antonio Pierce. I was like that for John Gruden again. I was like that for Rich Bisaccia.
Okay, and is there anything wrong with that? No. Was there anything? Not all of those were horrible. Not all of those were horrible.
Bisaccia wasn't.
No. But you see what I'm saying? Oh, you guys thought Antonio Pierce was the second coming.
And we did.
And we did. We all did. Everybody did. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's what we do. That's why we're sitting in this cold-ass room that smells like wet dog. And I'm in this swaggy-ass stupid chair over here that's barely tall enough. Oh, my God, that kid has short legs. I'm all in.
Okay.
I'm gonna get fired up. Once I get, where's my smelling salts? Once I get over the orange in that man's closet, when he inks, I ink. When he's there, I'm there.
Okay.
Until then, there's other choices out there.
What?
You know, come on, man.
Okay.
That's what we do. We're freaking Raider fans. Win, loser. How many times are you going to say, or is it going to be said on this show, win, loser, die, or win, loser, bye, Raider till I die, whatever the shit it is. It's said, and it's said over and over and over. What are you going to do?
Well,
you going to go be a Vikings fan?
No, and it's not that. It's not that I'm not going to, and I've said that on this show too. Like, I'm not going to stop being a fan. I'm just going to temper my expectations. That's all. But everything you've
Why?
said. Because the Bible says, number 1, guard your heart.
You're going to talk to me about the Bible in this silver and black hellhole?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
But it's I really do, man. Like this last one, and I want to get into that because I want to get more into Kubiak. This last season, it beat me up, man. It really did. Emotionally as a fan, not like emotion in real life. Like, I mean, I'm square there, but like when it comes to being a fan, like a Raider fan, I was like, oh my gosh. So here we
Would this have been?
Bought it all. I bought into it all over again, and I'm just getting to the point where it's like I don't want to hear it anymore. I want to see it.
Yeah, but would it have been worse if we would have lost in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl? Would it have been lost? It would have been any worse if we would have gotten to the first round of the playoffs and our quarterback, I don't know, maybe broke a finger or a back or something or a leg, you know. Flashback to DC. Would it have been any worse? Would it have been any worse? That would have been an instant.
No, it would have been better because we would have been seeing improvement.
That would have been an instantaneous, Nikes, what are we going to do now? Or would it have been, this is the letdown. This is the, we're not going to make it. Okay, so now you guys on this radio, we're playing for, go Chiefs. We're playing for first round draft pick. You know, all that stuff. You can't, I don't know. For me, I'm not gonna lose faith. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be silver and black.
I think we're on two different wavelengths here. Okay. It's not that I don't have faith. It's not that I don't think this thing can turn around. It's not that I don't think that Clint Kubiak can bring positivity to the Raiders. And as I led off this segment talking about taking advantage of the players that are going to be in the building offensively, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about of course I'm going to remain positive about it because it's exciting things that we have. I put out a tweet earlier this week. I said, when was the last time we had a cascading series of events that went in the Raiders' favor? Being that the Giants won their last game of the year, so we didn't have to lose that game against the Chiefs. So we could walk into Allegiant Stadium and root for the Raiders to win. And they did. And we got our first division win in 2 years. And then Fernando Mendoza goes out and wins a national championship.
Like
and
a champ.
Looks like a
maniac.
rock star doing it. And so now the Raiders are set up to draft him. And the coach that unanimously we all wanted commits to being a part of the Raiders.
I wouldn't say unanimously. 99.9%.
99.9%. And that idea that when we were sitting on these microphones begging for Mark Davis to turn over football operations to a single figure, they did that. The Raiders have done everything we wanted them to do, and the world is lined up for us in a football sense since the Giants won that game. And it's like, so I am incredibly encouraged. This is not me going like, I don't know.
Well,
I
it's
don't know if this is
close.
gonna. No, it's not. It's me going like, okay, all these things are wonderful. Does that mean we're gonna win 10 games next year? I don't know. It might, but I'm not gonna expect it to be the case.
Oh, but I am.
Okay.
But I
And
am.
that's
But I
fine.
always do, because Sonny and I always go, well, is it going to be an undefeated season or a one-loss season? You know, on our way to the Super Bowl, are the Dolphins, any of them that are still alive, going to get to pop their champagne? You know, if Vrabel can do it in New England, why can't we do it in Vegas?
And Dan Quinn did it the year before in Washington.
Exactly.
D'Amico Ryan's done it with the Houston
That's
Texans.
what I'm screaming.
There are turnaround stories in the NFL every single year.
Every year.
Absolutely. And obviously, if it happens, I'm going to be front of the line, shouting from the rooftops how excited I am for it. I'm just not going to go into it thinking like, oh, this is a slam dunk. Because I'm tired of being slam dunk guy on the microphone, because I thought Antonio Pierce was a slam dunk. I thought Gino and Pete was a slam dunk. I thought, oh my gosh, what was the whole narrative of that offseason? Oh, we finally got adults in the room. Yeah, except the adults were idiots and proved to be that way. So I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it, man. So anyways, all that said, next up I've got for you, this is really the thing I think is cool about Kubiak, is that this is Mike Duggar, who's a Seattle reporter, had a conversation with some of the Seattle players talking about Clint Kubiak and some of his characteristics as a head coach.
What do you make of him as a head coaching candidate, and what do you think the Raiders are getting?
Yeah, so Mike McDonald was asked about Clint Kubiak, because you're right, he's about as exciting as, a can of paint, right? But Mike McDonald was asked, is he like that just with us?
Yeah.
Or is he like that all the time? And Mike McDonald said, no, he's like that all the time, but that's a good thing about Clint, is that he's not just Bill Belichick or Greg Popovich with the media and then turns into Stone Cold Steve Austin when he's in the meeting room. No, he's him all the time, and guys appreciate that. I had one player last week, I was like, hey, you think Clint will be a good coach? He got all mad. He's like, yeah, he's going to be a great coach. Like, this sucks. We're going to lose a guy we think is a great mind. And it wasn't because he does this rah-rah stuff. Like you mentioned, I covered Pete. Pete would legitimately run through a whiteboard on Saturday nights before Sunday games. Clint's not doing none of that. Yeah. But this player who also played for Pete, he was like, it's different. Clint's a silent killer, but I'll run through a wall for him too. He just goes about it differently. And I think that's something that the whole league can learn, that it's not just, are you Dan Campbell, right? Like, you can win other ways. You can motivate guys other ways. You can be a silent killer. Mike McDonald sucks at speeches, but guys will run through a wall for this dude on offense, defense, and special teams. I think Clint kind of has some of that same sauce to him, and he'll also have the benefit of, this is important, I think, too, Mike McDonald knew to hire Leslie Frazier. Like, hey, I'm a first-time head coach. Leslie, come coach me on how to be a coach, basically. I don't know if Clint will do that, but he also has his dad. Yeah. Like, Gary's very involved. They talk all the time. Like, when he goes to Vegas, I'm sure Gary will be a resource for him. And I think that'll help quite a bit on handling maybe the other stuff Clint doesn't naturally have, like that makes him a killer, but his dad will be right there to help.
All right, so some cool stuff there to unpack. This will be the time you can get into his dad, because I know you're...
No, you don't have to be Captain Condescending over there, you jackwagon.
Not condescending.
I will come over there and hit you with Jeff's pan.
But this would be the time appropriate to bring any of that up about your Bronco concerns. But first, I want to talk about this idea about Gary being a silent killer, because something I think that is, maybe it's just because I'm a Batman fan or a superhero fan in general, there's the duality of man. You can wear, two different costumes, right? And so I love this idea about the silent killer, right? I love the idea about Fernando Mendoza being a nice guy and then taking your heart out when he's in between the lines while there's still time on the clock, right? And this idea that like Clint Kubiak is not going to be John Gruden. He ain't going to be John Madden. And as much as we love a boisterous, as much as we love a boisterous coach and the energy, I still watch John Gruden. I watch him all the time on his Barstool videos.
He's hilarious.
The video of him and Gannon, did you see this? Him and Gannon running into each other on the corner, and while they're in San Francisco, both the same. They hadn't seen each other in years. I'll show it to you after the show. Okay. They hadn't seen each other in years. They run into each other. They're grabbing each other, yelling at each other. He's going, I get so mad at you and whatever. And he was like, Gruden's going, I'm in the huddle and I'm telling her, or I'm in his ear and I'm telling him to do this, do that. And Gannon goes to the line and he's calling this and calling that. And he goes, fuck you, John, and calls a different play. They're just like, it was hilarious watching these two guys reminisce about being head coach and quarterback. And so anyways, like, that's not what Fernando Mendoza or Clint Kubiak are going to be. And I love that idea that as much as it's great for sound bites, it's as a show producer, it's awesome when you have a head coach like John Gruden. Knock on wood if you're with me, right? And those kinds of things are amazing, but that's not what we're gonna get with Clint Kubiak, but I don't care. Go be the silent killer. Go be the guy that does it quietly. Go be the guy that has an uneventful press conference, but wins by 40. Like, okay, I'll take that all day long, Mosh. Spitting all over my microphone. I'm so excited.
I don't give a shit. So, Jeff's the one that has to smell it. I left a surprise.
No, I'm spitting on my microphone, I said. I was so
thought
excited.
you were talking about me hawking a loogie on this one over here.
No.
Okay, so.
No, I don't want Jeff smelling my microphone. That's gross.
He probably does. Anyway, the little sniffer. Okay, so.
Like we say about Jeff, he's not gay. but
he's had one resting right here. Okay, my point is
not that there's anything wrong with that.
Whatever, you don't have to clarify. Okay, here we go. I'm enough old school that I don't trust anybody that has orange in their closet. Okay, and when I say that he's Gary's son, and Gary was a Bronco. He grew up at Mile High Stadium. Okay, he was there, and until he's sporting silver. Same way with Tom Brady. Whenever I see Brady now, he's wearing Raider garb.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll embrace you. It'll be a quick hug, and then my hands on my piece, but it's this.
Wait a minute, or your gun.
Or both. I've got two hands. Dos manos. My point is that better than on his gun. Speaking of Jeff, anyway.
Oh, jeez.
I'm all about giving the guy a chance. I'm all about second chances. If that's who management and I trust them. Have they made mistakes in the past? A lot. Have they? Will they make mistakes in the future? Guaranteed. If we think we can bring this in and it can gel and it can flow. I don't think he's the silent killer that everybody's making him out to be. I think there's something to get players to play for you. There has to be a sense of just a little bit over the edge, there has to be a little bit or a lot of bit being out there to get to root and gouge and get nasty and get dirty and get with them. Okay, to win that locker room, to get that mentality, to have them run through a brick wall for you, you have to find whatever it is in your coaching that works for you. the cerebral old guy in the locker room, Pete Carroll, obviously didn't work. Okay, it didn't work, and I personally think that he lost them early on, and that's why they performed at the subpar level they performed at this year. I think people like we were talking about, like Madden and Gruden and some of the other great coaches, they would demand out of their players and not be afraid to tell them, this is what I demand, with a foot in their ass and then hugging them. You know, that's and he's got something. Kubiak has to have something that the hiring team, that the people have seen, because the Raiders, for all they are, they're gonna do their due diligence. They're gonna check things out. They're not gonna just go willy-nilly and pick this guy. So
no, and in fact, the interview process this year with John Spytek in conjunction with Tom Brady has been pretty impressive compared to what it was like in the past, where we were hiring consulting firms and there was these big lobbies of people that were invested.
Get football people to do it. And when you got Tom, you know exactly what I'm saying. I think there's a lot more that Tom's offering than people are know about or letting on. There's so much that goes on that we don't know about, because why tell us? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, just so they can write about it. So when he inks, I'll be on board.
Okay.
I'm gonna back my coach. Until then, he's a Bronco.
Well, and you were like that with Alzado. Even though I was a little kid, I remember that about you and Uncle Bruz and everybody else. You guys were like, Alzado's a fucking Bronco.
Well,
but then he showed what he was as a Raider, and you guys were all about it.
We were all about him, but there was one time in my life that I bet on the Broncos, and it was when they lost their ass to the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, and he was on that team, and I hated him for that. I was in the Air Force. I was stationed in Denver. I was at Lowry Field, and man, I bet on the Broncos. Your grandmother and her husband were living there, and it was crazy. It was cool. It was cool environment to be there. But the Raiders weren't in it, and I bet on the Broncos and lost my tail. And I blame Alzado for a lot of that. and it took me a long time, and I never got reparations. Alzado's family, if you're listening.
Oh my gosh. Did you bet on him in '83 in Black Sunday, right? Which '84, I guess technically, not January,
always
January 22nd, 1984.
Always.
There
When
you
he
go.
was in silver and black.
Yeah.
When he left, when he got away from puke orange, and now I live in Tennessee, with our college football team and all of our drunks on the side of the road picking up litter, all wear Bronco orange,
Yeah. All right, so we got enough about Kubiak in there. I've got some more stuff, but we're gonna be talking about Clint Kubiak.
Yes, Michelle, it is.
Reference
Michelle
for the audio podcast.
Michelle was asking if this is my pink, blue, and it is.
Well, let me show what's going on over there.
So she wants to know. She said something earlier too that you missed, and I wrote it down. I'm like, what did he miss? Something that early on, Michelle. You'll have to tell us what it was. Oh, Murf just glossed right over that. Michelle and a handful of them in the
Why
chat
are you
were
admonishing the other co-hosts of the show.
because she's not as she pick. She wants to know what's the issue, because it's not black, because it's not silver and black. Ah! My wife gave it to me. Shut up.
I don't know what's going on. All right. Go ahead and hit an audio break, and then let's talk about this Max Crosby shit.
Okay, why don't I hit an audio break, and then we'll talk about this next round of shit.
There we go.
Hey, this is Pete Koch, former Los Angeles Raider. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about this Max Crosby thing. So we heard in the Colin Cowherd conversation going on earlier there, they talked about the Raiders being able to trade Max and get a haul for him. And, of course, there's been, I don't want to say frequent speculation, but there's been, not to, pat myself on the back and sprain my shoulder doing it, but like I brought it up like early in the season this last year when it was like, okay, look, things are not going in the right direction. Could the Raiders consider trading Max Crosby? And I brought it up because, when the team is so depleted clearly at multiple positions around the team, and you're charged with building and filling those holes, well, then you got to use what you've got. And right then, Max Crosby was the most viable to move. And so that said, they didn't, and I'm glad they didn't. Let me also preface this too in this segment. I don't want Max to go anywhere. I think as Mosh said earlier tonight, like he embodies what it is to be a Raider more than anybody has in a very, very long time. And so I don't want to see him go anywhere. And as much as I can hear the arguments from people that say, like, you don't build a team around defensive ends. And if defensive ends were such game changers and Myles Garrett, and the Cleveland Browns would have a lot more wins. And so I hear all those things and there is merit to some of those, conversations. But that said, I think from a leadership standpoint, from just an overall representation of the franchise and ability and talent and everything else, I think that Max Crosby is synonymous with the Raiders. And so I would hate to see him leave. So all that said, I thought it was interesting to bring it up as a conversation, but then I think his contract was detrimental to the Raiders moving on from him last year, and that if there was that knee injury starting to nag at him and show up, then he wouldn't have been able to pull the kind of value in what you would expect to get out of trading a player like that. So now here we are. Another year has passed. He's going to go into the final year of this deal of, it's not the quote final year, but it's the final year of dead cap of being hit into the dead cap. And so they can move him and be relatively pain-free to do so. And so now that all that's said, and we've got another regime change, here comes Jay Glazer today on Radio Row throwing absolute gas on this fire.
There's a couple guys. If they tell you they're playing, they're playing.
I think his time with the Raiders is done.
I do.
Before the draft?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Is there a landing spot that makes sense in your opinion?
A ton of them.
Who's that woman?
I'm not going to say what it is yet because I'm going to try and help it out.
Sure. What kind of haul do you think realistically a Max Crosby gets in general?
He probably more than Micah. So the day it happened, no less than 20 teams called me and asked, dude, is this real? Can we get him? What's it for? I'm like, God, we're not there yet, but yes, it's real.
Do you think his time with the Raiders is done because that's a Raiders decision or because that's a Max Crosby decision?
They didn't want to do it. But he was just like, I'm not going through another rebuild.
All right.
I'm not buying any of that.
Well, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate, but then also I'm gonna throw you kind of both sides of the equation here. Okay. Sounds like Jay Glazer is operating on basing his opinions on the day of when this happened. Okay. So the day that this happened, there was the reports of Max Crosby like not storming out the facility, but leaving the facility unhappy with the way that he was shut down, and he's an absolute competitor. And so it makes perfect sense. Mosh, that's all coming through. Kill me over there.
Sorry, I did that for swag because he likes to laugh at me.
Right, well, I'll wait till you're done and then.
Oh, shut up and go. You whining, sniveling little.
Mosh is over there cutting a freaking top out of a can. I'm like, all right, you done?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, go ahead. All
right. So, I don't even remember where I was on.
You were talking about why he said what he said because there was reports of him storming out,
yeah,
or just being a little miffed.
Yeah. So day of, and it makes sense because he's an absolute competitor, and we know that Max Crosby is not going to want to come off the field. He don't give a shit about draft picks. He don't give a shit about. He just wants to win. And that's one thing that I've always respected about Max and his commitment to the organization. One of the reasons why I don't want to see him go anywhere. So I get it that he was pissed in that moment. Well, we all say things and do things in the moment when we get pissed. And so, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Keep going.
And so we all do things in the moment that later on, when you cool off, that maybe your opinion might change a little bit. Maybe your reaction might change a little bit based on what happened, okay? So if Jay Glazer is operating on the events of that day and then carrying that into today, I think that that's a little bit of an extension of an opinion that maybe could be misguided, okay? I'll just say that. That said, if what he is saying that Max is out, because if Max says, I ain't coming to training camp, I'm done, he's got power in this. Now, Raiders ultimately have the power because they still have his contract, but if he says, I'm not going to play it, and this is the last year that it's got any actual financial impact to the team, it would be in their best interest to move on from Max Crosby. Now, should they decide to do that, Jay in there says that he thinks that the Raiders could get compensation greater than Micah Parsons' trade to Green Bay. Well,
really?
Yes. So the Cowboys got a first-round pick in 2026, a first-round pick in 2027, and defensive tackle Kenny Clark. So that's very high compensation for Micah Parsons. So now if you're talking about Max Crosby and he goes to, I don't know, the Lions or the Bears or the Patriots or a handful of other teams that would be good fits from a personnel standpoint and from a compensation standpoint, if the Raiders could pull 2 first-round picks and a couple players, or 2 first-round picks and a second and a third, or whatever the case may be, on a team that's devoid of talent, is it in the Raiders' best interest is it in John Spytek as the architect of this now roster? If he drafts Fernando Mendoza first overall, does it make more sense to him to have Max Crosby to go after someone else's quarterback, or does it make more sense to him to bolster his offensive line to protect his young quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things where it makes sense to me, and a lot of fans, I'm gonna say this quick and I'm gonna shut up, throw it to you, Mosh. A lot of fans bring up the Khalil Mack situation where we were like, look at last time we traded a dominant defensive end. How did that work out for us? Well, from a compensation standpoint, it did work out for us. We got an absolute haul in draft capital, and we didn't have to pay Khalil Mack and tie up all that money that the Bears did when they traded for him. Now, what they did as a result, they botched. Drafting Cleveland Farrell, like all that, everything they did with all that said draft capital that they gained, they absolutely blew it. And there's no excuse for John Gruden and for whatever degree Mike Mayock was involved for what happened there. That doesn't have to be John Spytek's story. So if they pull a haul in draft capital and actually do something effective with it, like draft players that have impact then like, okay, I get it. And oh yeah, by the way, you don't have to pay Max another $98 million in the process, and you can spend at other areas of free agency. And when your players like Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers and all these expensive offensive weapons come due, you'll have money for them. So I don't know, like I can see both sides of it. That's not me aligning an opinion on one side or the other, but I can see both, if that makes sense. And if Max really wants out, if he says, you know what, I don't care if I got a new head coach, I don't care if we've got a new quarterback coming in, I don't care that we've got all this money in free agency, I don't care, I'm out, that's it, done, then trade me, well then, okay, once a Raider, always a Raider, but bye, see you, bye. Well, no one's above the shield, and we'll root for you when you come back and put on silver and black and light the torch in 20 years. But until then, like, okay, fine. You want to be gone? Then be gone.
Some of that I agree with. Some of it I think is hog water.
Okay.
I think that's
not the last time you've called me hog water.
Yeah. So drafting is risky. And when you have a substantial player that Number one, he's got the locker room. Pardon me. Number two, he's a proven stud. Number three, he embodies your franchise. Number four, this is a guy that bleeds silver and black. You give him what he wants. A lot of people are going to disagree with that. But as soon as you lose him, he's gone. As soon as you lose him, he's gone. See ya. When you want out, bye-bye. Now, if this is a negotiating strategy, I understand that because first and foremost, the NFL is a business. Okay? These guys aren't, these people that are writing these checks and paying these bills are not out there cracking heads. Okay? They're sitting behind their desks and they're making things work. What can I do to make me more money? If it's keeping Max Crosby happy, then it's keeping Max Crosby happy. If it works within our budget, it works within our budget. If it doesn't, then we go to the negotiating table and we talk about it. Is this a ploy? Is he an unhappy Raider? No. Let me answer some of these questions for you. I don't care what Glazer says. Max is not unhappy as a Raider. Go back and look at 100 of his last interviews about being a Raider. The guy's all in. He is what we need. You asked me early on, about an hour and 15 minutes ago, can we recapture the attitude, the dynasty, the
mystique?
The mystique. Yes, and it runs through 98. It runs through Max Crosby. That's where that's going to come from. If he goes, he goes. We move on from it. But to waste a lot of breath on that, I think that's clickbait. I think a lot of that is just because things have been going well for us, like you said earlier, about 48 minutes ago. Things have been going well for us, so why not upset the apple cart? The Raiders can't have things go for them. The Raiders got to have contravesty. We gotta have, yeah. You know, and if there's none, then people like him will make stuff up. Okay, is he a little, would he like more money? Yeah, but let's talk about Max for just a second. How many more years do you think Max has at the top of his game?
The top of his game? 3.
Okay, so when you look at that and you go, okay, they're going to say that to him. If you think maybe, let's say we're all on the same page. We're in the end. Max, you got 3 years left. We're going to pay you $1 gazillion for 3 years. After that, probably not. So Max has to say, can I do it in 3 years? Do I live and die as a Raider? Am I done as a Raider? You know, I know we don't talk favorably about DC on this program. I was always a DC guy till I wasn't.
Same. Same.
But I love I love a lot of the Raider stuff he's doing now. John Gruden was let go by the Raiders a couple times. I love what he's doing. He's a Raider, you know, and they're doing some great stuff. Is that going to be Max? Who knows? But Max is what we're building on, and when we want to talk about getting back to that mystique, that's the kind of guy we need for the next 3 years. If we can do it in the next 3 years, if I were Max Crosby and I were making the kind of money that he's making, well, I wouldn't tell you what I'd do with half of it, but because it's not legal in most states. But the point is,
But it is in Vegas, so you're good.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He is the guy. And we need to keep him around. If we're gonna rebuild and we want to capture that mystique, if that's what they want to do, if that's what Tom Brady wants to do, if that's what the leadership wants to do, is to try to capture the mystique. Is that their goal or is that the fans' goal?
No, that's a fan thing. No, I agree with you there. Yeah.
So they're saying
their goal's to win. They don't give a shit what it looks like.
But I go back to what you were talking about. Oh, they got this draft pick and they got this draft pick and they got this draft pick. But you brought up Vegas. There's not a bigger gamble than a draft pick. You know, you're gonna piss away Max Crosby, the leader of the defense, the kahuna, the guy that you're building your franchise around on the risk of a draft pick in the year that you don't even know who's going to shine, I ain't doing it. I'm sticking with my man. But I'm a sticker, you know?
Uncle Sticker, they call you.
They call me Uncle Sticker. Unc Stick. Unc Stick with the multicolored bottle for Michelle, who I love. Yeah, Unc Stick. So that's, I don't know. I think two things. I think it's
okay.
I think it's number one. I think it's clickbait. I think it's made up BS, just to piss on the Raiders parade, because everybody pisses on our parade. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a lifelong fan, but they piss on they want to piss on our parade. They want to,
sure.
You know, that's why we were, you know, and then the number two thing is if they are on the same wavelength and they want to build. It's a multifaceted game, and defense is one of those facets that we really need to focus on. And, you know, if we get some linebackers.
We're way weaker on defense than we are offensive.
We're so weak on defense. But you know what? Man, he likes his name being called. He doesn't take a play off. The guy is just phenomenal. And he is a Raider through and through, man. He ain't going anywhere, boys and girls. And if he does, if he makes a decision to go, God bless you, Max. I'll see you. You know, when I watch you, as long as you're not playing against my silver and black, I'll root for you. You know, I'll want to see you kill a quarterback. You know, but if you don't, you know, as long as you're wearing my colors, you're the man. So anyway, that's all I got to say.
I agree, and I think if they did trade him, it wouldn't be certainly wouldn't be within the. Obviously not the division. That's a slam dunk. But I don't even think in the conference. I don't even think it would be the Patriots. I think it would be out of conference. I think they'd send him to Green Bay, or well, not Green Bay because they got Parsons, but like probably Detroit. You know, he's got such a connection to Detroit. He's got a huge connection to Dallas and that area where he played high school ball. So I could see him getting traded to Dallas, and Jerry's that kind of guy. The kind of guy that would trade Micah Parsons and then trade for Max Crosby. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of things that Jerry Jones does. But anyways, good conversation there, Mosh.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, please.
Do you think Jerry Jones is losing it a little bit like Al did towards the end?
No, I don't,
you know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
think there's any question about it.
God bless Al. God bless the 4th of July. You know, they're both going to be 250 on this coming this coming year. But there's a little bit of, you know, Jerry's the last, you know, Jerry and the Crafts are the last of that era, you know, that AFL's connected era. And they almost have that untouchable feel to them. And I think, you know, we all know that Al made some decisions that weren't. Bless you over there.
Sorry, man.
You need the smelling salts?
No, I got a tickle in my throat. I'm sorry.
Jeff's not here. We all had. We all had some issues. We all had some issues with Al towards the end there, and I think the Cowboys are going through that a little bit. I think
so too. No, I think
it's time. I wish he would just hang it up and you know,
it's time to
go out on top, Jers.
Well,
you know?
and I think it's time to turn it over to like Stephen Jones, you know, much like, you know, you brought up like some of the AFL families, like the Hunts, right, for the Chiefs and whatever. If you're outside the AFL, you go to like the Maras for the Giants. Like everybody's, these things have been passed down. You know what I mean? Shit, even bring it to the Titans. I mean, you know, in our backyard over here, you know, Bud Adams passed away, and it's gone down to his daughter.
Right? She's doing a fairly decent job.
And you got Carly. Well, now, but she wasn't at first. But then you got Carly Ursay after Jim Irsay just died, and he got the team from his dad. So I mean, you know, like we are definitely in a transition kind of environment. But what I loved about you bringing that up about Jera is that he is a freaking, you know, a protege of Al Davis. He modeled what he has done or what he did with the Dallas Cowboys 100% after Al Davis.
Well, the smart ones did.
Right? And he really invested a lot of time in being advised by Al. And that's why, like, when I bring up that, like, the Cowboys are rival the Raiders, and people are like, what are you talking about? Well, they're franchise rivals because Jerry literally copied a lot of what Al Davis did. And so, and he did it out of reverence. It wasn't out of, like, you know what I mean? He did it because he respected Al. And
a lot of people copied what Al did. Arrowhead Stadium is an exact copy of the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
The OG one, yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
You know
the
what
old
I mean?
one, yeah.
And so, like, but there's a lot of things that people copied Al on, and so but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, he's losing his fastball, just like Al lost his fastball, and it's like we all do, man. We all do. It's Father Time is undefeated.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're all going to lose our fastball at some point. And so, yeah, but is it time for Jerry to hang it up? You got to recognize. That's the thing, though. You got to have an ego small enough to be able to go, you know what? I'm losing my fastball. So let me go ahead and turn this thing over to my kid. All right, without further ado, let's get to the Sea of Fans, but I got to play it first. We got to talk. We never did our FanDuel. All right, first I'm going to honor the naming rights sponsor here at Raiders Fan Radio, and that is our good friends over at HTO.
Need some refreshment? Sip Real. At HTO, you can dive into dozens of flavors of real and real refreshing iced tea. Mix and match your faves or grab a gallon to go. HTO, real tea, real refreshing.
HTO. It fucks hard.
All right, appreciate our buddies at HTO. We appreciate Justin, our new boss here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Justin!
And Just Grin Baby and Murf's 8-minute raid, which we just started this week. We did a little trial run on the new show.
Yeah. We cut a promo for that today.
Absolutely, we did. Absolutely.
We're cutting a promo for Just Grin Baby when we're done here tonight.
We sure are. Absolutely. And so we're gonna talk a little bit. So we're doing our Sunday show. For those of you that are just joining us on this Sunday, we're going to do our Super Bowl show, our annual Super Bowl show. I think we're going to start at like 11 o'clock Central Time. So that's 9 a.m. on the Pacific and noon on the Eastern time dial. And so look for us there for this Sunday, for Super Bowl Sunday. And we're going to talk a lot about what we've got going on. We're going to give a little bit of a preview about what we're doing with the new shows. And again, we can't thank Justin enough and his support and his investment in us here at Raiders Fan Radio for that. Before we get to the Sea of Fans mailbag, Mosh, I've got to get to FanDuel. So will you carry the show for a second? Will you talk to? I'll tell you what. Will you shout the chat room and maybe talk to them a little bit while I'm pulling up this FanDuel stuff?
So let me see here. So in the chat, yes, I am using both hands in the chat. All right. So Michelle, Michelle's in there. Wasted Talented Ray.
Wasted Talent's in there?
Wasted Talent is there.
Wasted Talent is awesome. I don't think you all have ever met.
I don't think so.
He's a very good buddy of ours, does a very successful podcast and YouTube show. He's on with JT to Brick sometimes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, no, Wasted is awesome, man. Very cool guy.
Ron the Mater Raider, Michelle, Paul. Talent Chit. Oh, no, Talking Chit.
Oh, Talking Chit.
Mojo. What's up, bro? Bro Mojo. And he's in there. They're good. D. Tatum 1. Martin, RFR 67. No student. I'm not sure what I just read, but
well, we appreciate all of those of you that are joining us in the chat room tonight.
Yeah.
All right, I got it from here. So we're gonna thank our good friends over at FanDuel, Mosh. We're going to thank them. And so Swag Jeff usually does the FanDuel promo over here. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about FanDuel. But I'm going to use his information.
Oh, good.
Okay. So Swag Jeff, did you see this last week? Parlays are what the kids call these. This is when you make multiple bets and you
oh my gosh, was that the thing that Swag did when he was talking about all the
he hit 5 for 5. If you would have made a $10 bet, you'd have made well over $400, almost $500. Yeah, and hit it.
Jeff bet it and hit it?
I hit it too. Yeah.
Well, some bitch, how come nobody's bought me lunch yet?
Well, I'm telling you right here. So it's still playoff mode, according to Swag Jeff. So let's build a parlay one more time as the NFL season ends. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. Jackson Smith and Jigba, anytime touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown. And Stephon Diggs with an anytime touchdown. If you bet those 4 guys to score touchdowns, it's a plus 27.84. That means a $10 bet will hit you $278 on a $10 bet.
No kidding.
If all 4 of those guys hit. But I'm going to tell you this. If I'm going to pick one player to bet or over bet on, it's Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs that's going to be the guy that's the Patriots are. You watch Drake May and that Patriot offense. They are going to feature him in this game. He's going to score. Book it. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and I'm not going to cover your bets that you did at FanDuel. But I will tell you, for me, that's my Super Bowl lock, is that Stephon Diggs will find his way into the end zone in this game.
Can I just say this?
Please do. Remember, we're doing our FanDuel spot. So.
I know. This is going to be a fun Super Bowl, and it's going to be a fun Super Bowl to bet on.
Yes.
It's going to be, because I think it's going to be one of those for the ages. I know we're not in it. I know Silver and Black's not in it, but these are fun teams. These are
fun teams.
These are high scoring. These are fun teams. This is going to be the Super Bowl when you lay out some money and you get some money back. This is going to be the one. This is going to be the Super Bowl that's going to be a blast to watch. You're going to be, even if you're not invested in it, it's going to be fun to make some bets and to sit there and go, oh, yes, yes, yes. I mean, it's a stand-up screaming at the TV kind of thing. Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
I agree. And you know what's so fun about this is that, to me, like, normally I love betting over-unders. Because unders hit a lot. As high-powered as these offenses are,
oh my gosh,
both their defenses are better. So it's
right.
Holy crap, this could be a 13-17 game.
Right,
at the same time. Or it could be
a 37-27. Yeah.
Like, this could be a damn shootout. So I'm with you, Mosh. This is going to be a fun-ass Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This is the most excited I've been about a non-Raider Super Bowl.
Which
has been a long time. But, this is a good matchup. And I don't feel like, and there's not anything, again, there's none of our division rivals are in it. The Niners aren't in it. There's not any team
we don't have anybody we really hate.
Overtly hate. No.
I mean, we hate everybody, but we don't.
But Pittsburgh's not in it.
Right. We don't hate.
The Cowboys aren't in it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, this is going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great game to bet on.
Absolutely.
So you got to show me how to do that when we're done.
Okay, deal. So bet responsibly and bet with our good friends at FanDuel.
Is there a
See you, fans.
Oh, my bad.
My bad. Sip real.
HTO.
Well, that's me. Sorry. Okay, now see you, fans.
Oh, what a jerk. Such a jerk.
He's just smelling salt. HTO got bonus time.
The gun. His body thrown. It is.
What am I doing? It's been a minute.
Hey, Tyrone Graves is in there.
I missed so many people. I'm sorry about
That's
that,
okay.
y'all. I had to.
That's okay. I got it. Hitsboy Radio is in there. Martin is in there. Michelle's in there. Jake Long is in there. As I mentioned, Tyrone Graves is in there. Let's see. Talking Shit is in there. Ron, Mojo.
Ron.
So many of our good friends. Wasted Talent, as you mentioned, is in there, man. So many of our good friends. We appreciate you so very, very much for checking in with this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. So you can contact us a multitude of ways. You can join the chat room that I just mentioned there live at youtube.com/Raiders Fan Radio each and every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, or you can call the show. You can call the show at 909-345-3346. And you can call the show. And if you leave your message and we play it 3 or more times on the show, you could become the next made man or made maiden, or you can email the show, Mosh.
You can email it at Raiders Fan.
No. You can email the show at show. That is S. Oh, so do you know the whole thing about this bit? I won't get into it because we're running out of time. But like, I do. I in this bit, I draw it out because I say that you can email the show at show, which is
SHOW.
There you go. Do you know why we stretch it out?
No.
Because Andy Kaufman. Because he's funny. You let it drag on.
Oh, yeah.
So I do that bit, and then Kevin and Michelle and everybody else gets mad at me because I say S
H
O
W.
at RaidersFanRadio.com.
All right, so here we go. So we're going to do the first few emails.
And if you,
oh, my God, no one cares, Murph. Michelle, everybody, Kevin, I'm with you. He's a jackass. Here we go. This one is from Vincent Macias.
Macias. How do you say your last name?
Macias.
There you go.
That's what I said. I got to dip in. Sorry. Okay. I had to edit it a little bit because it says, hey, Murph, Swag, and Michelle, and we're cutting them. So, hey, Murph and Uncle Mosh, the one and only, the impeccable Uncle Mosh. It's been 1 day since the Kubiak news has dropped, and I can tell you that for the first time in my 35-plus years as a fan of the franchise, I see Raider Nation finally united on something with Kubiak / Mendoza being the keys to our reset and future. The one thing that tells me this is the right move is the national media hates this and is poo-pooing the idea of Kubiak and Mendoza coming to us. Good point. And that we should have gone with a proven HC like Flores or Dubois. The hate feeds my soul and should feed this franchise because being the villain of the NFL world is something our past and our future should be based in. But when this leads us to getting a true reset with foundational pieces that promote sustained success, guys, I don't think the world is ready for the black hole to return. This year is going to be a ton of fun, and I look forward to Wednesday evenings and listening to you all about potential FA accusations. FA.
Free agent acquisitions?
Oh, yeah. Free agent accusations. And what is our potential? What did I say?
Accusations. You're a free agent.
Oh, yeah.
That's an accusation.
Yeah, potential.
Acquisition is, hey, want to be part of our team?
That's what I thought he was talking about, is acquisitions.
There you go.
Yeah, free agent acquisitions.
There you go.
But it's not. It's accusations is what it says on here.
Oh, it's acquisitions. He
he wrote free agent accusations. You're a free agent, Max, you rat bastard. And what is our potential for the future? Best of luck. And as always, happy Mendoza Day. Sincerely, Vincent Macias.
Hey, appreciate you, Vincent.
Evening, everybody. Now, that's how you start something, Paul, because you know that I'm here. Evening. Well, don't be sneaking up on me, Murph. Evening, everybody, and welcome to Therapy Session 403 and Episode 28 in the new Camp Crystal Lake studio. I'd like to start this week with some respect, if I may. As we heard the sad news that Scott Gulbranson and Mo Moten are closing down Silver and Black today, I missed their show. It's been constructive and level-headed debate from two guys who are masters of their art. Thanks to you both and some great content over the years. Hopefully, it won't be the last we see of you. I agree. I'm already starved for football, and the season isn't even over yet. I've been reduced to watching things like the Grammys. Oh, my God. And he goes on to say, and what a pile of shit that was. The last time I saw so many talentless people in one building, I was watching the Chargers and the Broncos. There has to be a collective term for so many talentless fools. I think I know what it is, but I'll leave it alone. It's a family show. A couple of months ago, I was welcoming a break. I was so sick of watching the droves the Raiders are producing. It was difficult to summon the energy to watch football. But now I'm getting excited again. And because of the news over the last few days, I still won't get fully carried away with the Kubiak appointment, though, until I see him in the press conference in Henderson. See, I'm with you, Paul. Me and you are in the same boat. I trusted Tom Pellisario and Ian Rappaport when they reported it. when John Schneider confirmed the appointment live on air, so part of me wants to listen to the gremlin on my one shoulder that's urging me to run around screaming with joy. However, the gremlin on the other shoulder is more level-headed and just keeps saying, careful, this is still the Raiders. Remember, we're not allowed to have nice things. Whenever things become official, I hope the coach in his presser is strong, honest, truthful, and doesn't promise anything he's not sure he can deliver. This is a clean slate for everybody, and it's exciting times once again. Let's all enjoy the ride, a youthful coaching setup, the number one draft pick, and a shitload of cash to spend. Now, the real work starts now. This feels different. Sorry. Welcome to Murf's 8-minute raid earlier this week.
Ah, nice.
During which Murf mentioned the international calendar games being announced. I have to be honest, and this will sound crazy to some of you, I'm sure, but I hate the international stuff.
Wow. Okay.
I know it's money-driven, and offers me more of the chance to see the Raiders live every so often, but I don't like it. Look after the U.S. fans first and foremost. Come on, Paul. If you want to expand the game, then there are numerous cities around the U.S. who I'm sure would welcome a team. I'm not something that's ever satisfied right with me. Wait, no, something about it never sat right with me. I channeled my inner Jeff just then. It'll inevitably lead to an 18th regular season game, and it's feeding the greedy-ass fools that run soccer over here with ideas of playing big games over in the U.S., which is wrong also. The worst thing they could do is have a permanent team in London. There isn't a long-term future in it. Short-term, yes. Long-term, no. I will eat myself if it's not careful. If there was a petition to stop it, I'd gladly sign it. And finally, check out FanDuel for a surefire money-making bet for Sunday. The Seahawks will kill the Patriots 42-14. I know this for a fact. One of the gremlins told me. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi, Polly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020, Made Man of the Year 2024, RFR Maverick Award winner 2025, BRT Scissor Scorekeeper, Proud Made Man, five-time times five winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Atta boy, Paul, man.
Britannia rules the waves. This is Keith Smith, the Crusader Raider, calling you from London, England. And you're listening to Raider Fan Radio. And we're in Murf's Cave, and I tell you, this is the only place you need to be. Go Raiders!
Paul, your name Paul?
Hello?
Paul.
Hello?
Paul.
I met him with
Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
That is a take I would have not have expected. I wouldn't have expected that from Paul, but I respect it, man.
I loved it.
I loved it too, and I love that idea that, like, yeah, for those big, football or, soccer, whatever you want to call it, games that they have over there, like, yeah, no, keep those there and their origins. And so Vinny asked me the other day, I don't want to get deep into it because we got a lot of voicemails to get to, but like Vinny asked me the other day, because there's so many international games going on now, and this is what I mentioned on the 8-minute raid, was that he was like, what do you think about this, Dad? I'm like, I don't love it because it takes away home games from our season ticket holders, and that drives up ticket prices over time, and so I don't love that idea about it, but I'm very happy for our international fans because we know that Raider Nation is global, and so if you can offer up more opportunities for our global Raider Nation, to see, like, there might be a Raider game in France this year. which I know between you and Paul will not go over well.
No,
but
we hate the French.
Well, the Saints have a home game, and
that's why we hate the Saints.
And that's why they're playing. And so the Saints have a home game in Paris, and the Raiders have a road game against the Saints this year. So the Raiders could be playing in France this year, which, it's wild stuff. But although we don't, you know what's funny? I will say this. Because I was going to be like, well, I'm happy for any of our French Raider fans, but you know what?
We don't have any.
We don't have any. Out of all of Europe, our country, our show, for those of you that don't know, this show is listened to in well over 80 countries. France.
Except for one of them.
France. Nobody listens to us in France.
No. But you know why? You want to know why?
And that's why Paul's always been on the front lines.
Yes.
We've risked international incidents.
Oh,
numerous
I've caused most of them.
You and Paul.
Me and Paul, because here's the problem. The reason that the Raiders are not popular in France is because the Raiders are aggressive. And the French are usually looking over their backside to see where the other nations are coming in to bail their asses out. They gave us the kiss and the fry, and that's all we've ever gotten from France. That was worth the crap. They gave us the Statue of Liberty, and it cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars to build a pedestal to put the damn thing together. All I want to say is this. Martin took a task with me because I channeled my inner Jeff, I flubbed a little bit.
Oh.
And Martin said, "Oh, sorry, Uncle Mosh, Paul does write in English." Martin, that was a good slam, brother.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I appreciate a good one.
Good. I love it, man.
All right,
love
good
it.
to go. Let's move on.
All right, here we go. We're going to kick off the voicemails with our good buddy Josh in the East Bay.
Hey, what's up, fam? This is Josh in the East Bay. Been a minute since I called, but listening to your guys' last show, and it's cracking me up. I think Swag Jeff was about to say it feels different. And I'm just cracking up because I'm the same way, man. I get so down on this team, and then I feel like right now I feel like in Dumb and Dumber when if we hire Kubiak and draft Mendoza, I'll be like, I think it's Harry in Dumb and Dumber, and he says, then you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
Yeah.
Man, if we do those two things, I'm back on the train. It's let's go. LFG, let's go.
Nice.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that's okay.
I love that line from that movie when he goes on and on telling him how stupid he is. And then he goes, but then you totally redeem yourself. And so, yeah, man, that, again, it's wild, Mosh, that we're in this situation where so much has gone wrong over the last year. And then now these series of events since early January, everything has gone right. And do you feel, okay, we'll be quick because we got more to get to, but now I already know the answer to this. I'm not even going to ask you. I'd be curious to your thought, though, that a lot of us, we're not being a defeatist, but it's like you're kind of waiting for the shoe to drop to be like, oh, there it is. There. Oh, yeah, we're still the Raiders. Yep, that thing happened.
I think I said that on my rant that it got so much grief. And, of course, it was a rant. I was going for the goof. But we always have that in the back of our minds. The last 20 years, we've always got that in the back of our minds. That other shoe will drop. But, by God, we're going to be back here next year. We're going to be right back in this cave, in this stinky-ass, cold-ass hellhole. We're going to be here.
Absolutely. All right, so speaking of our good friends over in the UK, next up, let's get to our buddy Martin.
I hope you're speaking in English.
Friends. So it seems that the powers that be have listened to Michelle's recommendations as per last week's show and gone for a head coach with a quite specific stipulation, namely that they shouldn't be, how to say this delicately, well...
Fat! Did you just say I was fat? You're fat.
Because you're fat.
I'm fat. Really fat.
He's fat! You're fatter than I am!
Fatty. Fat. Fat boy. Fat. Fat.
I'm a little pudgy, right?
You are so fat.
Fatty Parker!
Because you're fat.
Because you're so fat.
That being said, he's not signed anything yet, and we won't know if she's taking the Vegas offer or staying with Seattle for certain until after the Super Bowl weekend. We also haven't drafted Mendoza yet, so I'm keeping my Jack Daniels in the bottle until both are done deeds. Other whiskies and similar spirit beverages are available if your standards are incredibly low or you have an impaired sense of taste. I'll tell you why I'm cautious. I was excited when we hired McDaniels and Ziegler to bring in some Patriots influence and hopefully some of the success they enjoyed for so long. I was also excited when we hired AP and Telesco to bring back some of the old Raider way to the locker room. I thought Pete Carroll, with all his experience at the highest level, would rub off on our squad.
Hey, yo! Damn, that just sounded bad.
Pause, bro. That also being said, I'd crush my Aunt Fanny's cob nuts if neither happened. Surely our organisation hasn't gone that far off its trolley. Anyway, it's not about the Raiders this week, it's about the Super Bowl, and whether my bespoke chili will turn out to be edible at 2 a.m, or at any other time, frankly. The Raiders have their men. Kubiak is going to be head coach, and they're going to draft Mendoza, right? 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 And finally. Shout out to the chat, to the One Nation Foundation and their partners, to the sponsors of whatever this audio stuff is, and go Raiders! Martin, your friend from across the pond.
Oh my God, Martin.
Holy crap.
He's so funny. So
What did he
funny.
say crushes Aunt Betty's cob nuts?
It's Fanny.
Aunt Fanny's
Aunt
cob
Fanny's
oh
cob
my
nuts.
gosh, man, that was funny as shit, Martin.
And it was in English, Martin. I love you.
All right, next up, let's get to our buddy Steve in San Diego.
Hey, guys, it's Steve in San Diego again. What's going on? Hey, I will not be Google voiced. I will not.
Okay.
Yes, you're talking to a pro here. Well, looks like we have something to root for this weekend because our next coach, I know it's not in writing, but, everything, all things point to him coming. And so wow, we had a championship college game to root for our quarterback. We have a Super Bowl to root for our coach. This is pretty cool. We got maybe there's aspirations of things to come. Hey, I was listening to different people. Hondo, sounds like the way the things went was really good and much better than in the past in the organizationally on down the line. So hopefully that's good things to come. Sounds like it would be a good pick to get Jim Schwartz as a DC, but whatever it does, Kubiak, it sounds like Kubiak and Spytek have a good plan and, Brady. So yeah, it should be fun. And, hopefully, we'll actually have something to really root for, and all we look for is progress. Let's not worry about wins next year. Let's just go for progress, and I'm sure it will come. But it looks good. So hopefully, we can look forward to. Hey, we got a couple championship games we had to look forward to. That even though it's not us, but maybe it'll be the future. Well, anyway, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh, look at that! There you go, Steve. Nailed it on the timing. I appreciate you, Steve, in San Diego. Absolutely, brother. And I'm with him on that idea. And we talked about this a lot earlier. Is that like, I'm not going to expect a bunch of wins, but progress, man. Like, let's see this thing turn around, man. Let's see some serious improvement out of this Raiders squad. All right, next up, going to get to our buddy Ron the Mater Raider. What's
Come
up,
on, Ron?
What's up, guys? It's Ron. Hey, you guys just feel weird. It almost feels like imposter syndrome that things that we want to happen have actually been happening the way we wanted them to happen. It's been quite some time since I can recall that happening, and it's such an odd feeling to have this much hope and this much, things going the right way. But I'm still going to keep my expectations extremely low. I'm still right with you with Murf in that 5-win zone is where I'm hoping for next year. I think, what we're doing, even if unsuccessful, we're making the right moves, and you can't complain about that in any way. We're going to take Mendoza. We're likely going to have Kubiak in here. The moves we're making are the right moves. Hopefully they pan out. But just weird to have things lining up the way we thought they would go and actually do that. So, I don't know. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Hey, I'm with him.
Take it.
Well, he said he's a little skeptical of the things to come. I'm with him. You know, it's like you said the adage of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical too, and I think that's what, because there's not enough travesty in our world, that's why they're making stuff up.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
But you're also you were talking about, but you're going to be encouraged though. As
well,
you're
yeah,
snacking
because
on
that's what I do.
Cousin Becky's pecans over there.
Oh, Cousin Becky, your nuts are great. Yeah, sorry, Jeff. I ate them all.
Did you really? Did you polish off the bag?
Just about. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, next up we got our buddy Mojo, and this is going to close out the night, Mosh. Last one.
Come on, Moj, make it good.
What up, fam? Mojo here, calling from sunny Florida. Sorry to anybody who's listening that doesn't live in Southern California or the free state of Florida. I know you're probably freezing your cojones off. Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna bust one out real quick because I've been thinking about it for a couple of weeks now. It's got to be Kubiak, and I can tell you this, man. You don't win battles with like individuals running their own program. You win with a unit that moves together as one, right? And that's exactly what Kubiak's, wide zone scheme is. You got all 5 linemen moving in perfect unison there, like a single body. We got all the cap space. We got the cap money to bring in some big linemen. If we want to spend the money to build that wall, right, we aren't just blocking. We're creating a tidal wave. This Kubiak thing's going to look nice, man. You get that line moving sideways, Ashton Jeanty, he's only got to make one cut, and he's gone. You force the defense to flow, and then suddenly Bowers is wide open, on the backside or something, because linebackers get lost in the wash. And then as for Mendoza, man, we all know we're drafting him. He don't have to be Superman in this scheme, He just got to be the point guard. He's just distributing the rock behind the secure, perimeter. So anyway, I hope that we stop chasing flash here. We build the line, unify the front, and let the system work. I'm really excited, which scares the crap out of me. Just win, baby. Mojo out.
Hell yeah. Real quick, Mayor, as we close this thing out before you award the Sizzler, I think that might be the reason that I'm choosing to temper my expectations. Not long-term and not my optimism for what's going on, but it's like, it kind of scares me, man. Like, it's just going too well. So anyways, but appreciate you, Mojo. Appreciate all of our callers, all of our emailers tonight. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat room. And Mosh has the honor of awarding the Sizzler Award to the best emailer or phone caller of the night. And Mosh, who do you got?
Well, we heard from Vincent right off the bat. He called out the media like every good human being should do. And then Paul got in there and he talked a lot about a lot of different things, but what really stuck out for us was being an international fan. He wasn't a fan of international games. Josh joined us from the East Bay, and he says he's back on the train, man. He's ready to go. Followed by Martin, who was absolutely cracking us up with his fat tirade, and then his Aunt Fanny, she made an appearance, and shout out to Aunt Fanny.
Cob nuts.
And her cob nuts.
I don't even know what a cob nut is.
I know, Martin. I know it's probably was written in English, but you need to explain to us what a cob nut is. Steve in San Diego. His anti-Google voice made it. Good job,
that was
Steve-o.
awesome, Steve.
Ron, skeptical of the good things to come. And Mojo from sunny Florida.
The free state of Florida,
The free state of Florida. Kubiak is
Uncle Kodiak.
Uncle Kodiak. Kubiak is the way to go, and I love what he said. He inferred that he believes Kubiak's going to be the builder of our next dynasty, and it's going to happen through the O-line. But tonight's Sizzler Award goes to my buddy over on the across the pond, Mr. Martin.
Hey, Martin.
And the Sizzler.
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 You got the. Oh, got it.
Wow. That was.
We
so
are
fast.
Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders.
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
Hee hee ho ho. I should have gave the Sizzler to Aunt Fanny.
And her cob nuts.
And her cob nuts.
All right, Raider Nation, we appreciate you so very, very much for checking in with this episode of Raiders Fan Radio, episode number 403 of Raiders Fan Radio. Don't forget, we will see you this Sunday. We will see you at 9 a.m. Pacific. That is noon Eastern time for our annual Super Bowl show. We will be back, myself and Jeff and Michelle. We're going to rewatch some old school Raider videos, including Super Bowl 11, the NFL Films version of that. So we're going to watch that. So join with us to check that out. Thank you to all the amazing people in the chat room. Thank you, Michelle, who is in there. Mojo is in there. Paul is in there. Big Fonz is in there. Hey. Appreciate Martin, Corey Hagan, Talking Shit is in there. So many of our good friends, Yoshi and whatnot. We appreciate you. Oflo is in there. Appreciate you joining us for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. Thank you to Uncle Mosh stepping in and Michelle and Jeff's absence tonight.
Thank you.
Mosh.
Man, it was so much fun being here. I know that next time I'll bring a blanket and an air freshener. But
it's not that
it's
sticky.
bad. You live in this filth. All right. Listen, thanks for listening tonight. For Murf, this is your old Uncle Mosh, and you've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't worry about the horse being blind, just lead the wagon.
Come on.
What happens in Vegas started in Oakland. Mojo, are you listening? Adios, malingerers. Good night, everybody. So good to be back. You'll be seeing a lot of me. Peace.
Get out, YouTube.
Drive safe.